Hi, everyone. This is Ruby Bhatia, television presenter and happiness life coach. And this is Reflections with Ruby Bhatia, a brand new podcast in association with IIW, Inspiring Indian Women, which is a not for profit NGO based in the UK and in India. In this podcast, we interview women from all walks of life who are doing amazing things. Okay. So today we have with us Sonia Gupta. She's a speaker, a coach, and founder of It's a Sonia Thing. She's helping people to redefine their self-worth in relationships. So, Sonia, are you with us?
Hi, Ruby. How are you?
Hi, Sonia. I love your hair. It's so beautiful. My
Thank you.
goodness. Now, Sonia, you've gone through a lot yourself in the past. So can you tell us a little bit about your journey, your history, your past, your childhood, and what brought you to what you're doing now?
Yeah, so I'm born and brought up in the UK from an Asian background. Um, the short version of events is I had introduced marriage. I got married in India in 2003. We then decided to move to the UK in 2005, and it was quite challenging. And the short version is my marriage didn't work for lots of different reasons, which is I'm okay with that. I didn't find that so much of a challenge, as in the bigger challenge was actually getting my mum and dad on board for, because for them, getting divorced isn't the done thing. We had children. And so I went through a 7 year battle with my mum and dad just to get them on board to kind of not agree to a divorce because they never would agree, but get them to
So for you,
understand the landscape.
more cultural. The challenge was not as much as your own journey as it was in other people.
Yeah. And my own blood, my mum and dad. So, you know, as a child or as a daughter, you think your parents have always got your back. Um, but initially, I'll say initially, for 7 years, they didn't emotionally understand where I was at. And eventually they did come round. But then the whole journey itself took me 12 years from the day I decided I wanted out to the day I actually got my divorce was 12 years. And we lived together the whole time under the same roof through COVID, through court. So that was really challenging. But I think the bigger battle was actually getting mum and dad on board. And I think from the South Asian community, that's quite a big thing because divorce has such a stigma and taboo with it. And I'm now being very open and honest about my journey and what I went through. And
Yeah.
then I threw the global divorce party in 21, which is when it changed the landscape of everything for me.
So it's amazing how you've used your entire journey to now help others, which is so beautiful. So we'll come to that. I just wanted to ask you, which part of India are you from?
So my family are from Delhi.
From Delhi, yeah. I find we live in Mumbai. I live in Mumbai.
Mm.
And I'm just sharing with you, I feel that Mumbai is much more open about these things. But the North is still catching up, very traditional values over there. And so how did you, first of all, in your own journey, how did you feel that getting out of this relationship is going to give you the freedom and the empowerment that you need?
So for me, that's, I think, the next level. Initially, my thought process was, I'm really unhappy. I'm miserable. I've lost me. I don't even know who I am. I don't know what I like. For example, the hair. This is something I would never do before. Um, and I just lost myself as a person. And all I knew is that I was crying all the time. And that's not me, you know. And so there was never about freedom or empowerment. That was like secondary. I think for me, the first thing was like, God, I'm really unhappy. I need to find a way out. That was as closed as it was because that I couldn't see past that. All I knew is I was unhappy. The kids were unhappy because this wasn't a great environment.
Right.
Now I reflect, he was potentially unhappy too. Why would you be unhappy if three people in your household are happy, right? And so when I look back, I'm like, God, I fought for all of us. I used to say I fought for me and the boys, but now I did us all a favor, including him, because it's not a nice environment to be living in. So the empowerment and the freedom came much later
Right.
because I wasn't even in that headspace. I was so immersed in my own and drama going on. All I knew is I needed to get out. That was it. That was the bottom line.
A lot of people, I do some coaching myself, and a lot of people feel like their world has come to an end, and they don't know where to begin. They don't know. I mean, it's just like everything is shattered. So it's amazing that you were able to survive it and then do something constructive with it. So what advice do you have for those who are right now in that procedure? Like right now, everything is shattered and they feel shattered and everything is over. What do you have to say to them?
So I think the most important thing is own your journey and own your story. Because the more you are in control of that element, people won't say as much, people won't talk as much, and you know you've done the right thing for you. That's the most important thing. So for me, I found the empowerment and the freedom when I knew for sure that I'd done the right thing for me and my children at that time. Because otherwise, someone's always got something to say and they can always drag you down. They'll be like, oh, you should have done this or this would have been better. Everyone will always have something negative to say. Very rarely will people say, well done, or, congratulations. And anytime I tell anyone I'm divorced, they're like, oh, I'm really sorry. I'm like, I'm not. It's a natural reaction to feel sorry for you. But if you are more in control and empowered in your journey, then it will make you forward better.
Well, you know what, Sonia, I mean, when I first found out about you, and I read a line which was really intriguing, that you deal with cultural differences, shame, and recovering, reinventing yourself through storytelling. What do you mean by storytelling?
I tell people my journey very openly. I have nothing to hide. It's all out there. The loneliness, the arguments in my family, the repercussions from society. But I think because I don't hide behind my journey, people don't say as much. I think if I hid behind my journey, then people always talk. Because I'm so open about it, there is nothing to hide. Then what can people say? So for me, there's a blog on my website and I talk about the loneliness, I talk about the stigma, I talk about the battle with my mum and dad. Um, so there's other blogs in there as well. But I'm very open and a lot of people say to me, you write what I was thinking, but I'm too scared to tell anybody. I'll tell people I've cried my eyes out. I cried for 12 years in a car. I'll tell people that my boys went on holiday with their dad and I have never been so lonely in my life. Me and my boys are away right now, but I'm okay now. I've grown, I've evolved. So they can go away. I'm like, yeah, no laundry. There's a difference in that mindset. So I've changed the way I view things. But for other people, I write from the heart. And so when they read that, it normally resonates with them because those emotions that you go through will, in some shape or form, are the same, but will come in at different times for different people. But then there is light at the end of the tunnel. It's not all doom and gloom, and your life is definitely not over after divorce. That's for sure.
Okay, so how did you come to now the name of your of what you do is It's a Sonia Thing. So tell me about
Yeah.
that.
So that again, none of this was planned or set up from before. Many years ago, and I'm talking about 2016, 17, something, I wore a jumper out which said, it's a Sonia thing you don't understand. Because I'm
Okay.
a little bit unique, to be honest.
Right. Okay.
Um, and then I threw my divorce party in 2021. And on there, on the menu, was me in that jumper. And it said, it's a Sonia thing. So then
Okay.
then I thought, okay, well, I've got lots of people coming to me for help and support. What do I call it? And I was like, well, just call it. It's because it evolved from the divorce party.
Right.
I was never going to do this before. It's only because people reached out to me for help and advice. And I thought, I could help some people. Why should I keep these nuggets of wisdom when there is a whole world of people, sadly, out there that need support and advice and are going through difficult times? And if my story can inspire other people to move on, make the right decisions, or give them a bit of hope, whichever way it is, then why not start telling people what I do?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I think it's a Sonia thing. It's such a beautiful way of describing what you do for two reasons. One, it describes you. It gives you, um, I mean, normally life coaching is kind of serious, but you've made it fun. You've made it interesting. That it's a Sonia thing. It already sounds inviting. It sounds exciting. It sounds happy. It sounds like something I would love to know more about, if I was coming to you for coaching. And it's also, so it's attractive for the others, and it's also your own expression that this is my chosen profession, this is what I do. And it's a declaration of your own self-esteem, which I think is so beautiful. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like through your own journey, you're empowering others that if I can do it, you can do it too.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone's got a different journey, everyone's got a different story, and there's no black and white answer for anybody either. So people would just say to me, "I'll just walk away, Sonia, just walk away." You have no idea of the intricacies of my relationship with my family and the financial implications. So don't just say to me, just pack your bags and go, because trust me, if it was that easy, I would have done it. Like nobody wants to be in a situation where they're living with their ex-partner for like over a decade and going to court. And I lost every single court case till the final hearing. Like it was horrendous for me. And I didn't do that out of choice. There were certain circumstances that made me stay in that situation, or I had no option. So when I listen and talk to people and give them guidance, should I say, on what they can do, because there's always more options, there's never only just the one option. It's not a blanket answer for anybody, it is individual to their circumstances and also to them as a person. Now, I can say to somebody, yeah, do you know what? You're better off leaving that marriage. And they're just not strong enough to do that. So then
Right.
they need to find a way to manage those emotions in that marriage. Because I've spoken to multiple women, they're like, we're not happy, but we won't leave. So so then you need to find a way to be content within where you are and where you're living and what's going on. If you're going to say, wave a magic wand and he should be a different person, that's not going to happen. You
Right.
have to you have to change the way you react to situations and the way you handle them, if that's your choice. If your choice is no, I want to leave, my first thing is financial independence. That's key. Um, so again, it depends on the person in front of me whether they're willing to make that step is the first thing. If they are, then what their next steps. And also sometimes I've spoken to them, they're like, my marriage is over. I've said loads of stuff to me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, your marriage is not over. He's actually a great. You're just looking at it through you need to look at it through a different lens, and due to that, I've actually helped a lot of people work through their marriages as well. So there's a whole different array of things that I help people with.
तो आप हिंदी में बात करते हैं?
मैं थोड़ी थोड़ी बात कर सकती हूँ.
पंजाबी आंदी है ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ? Are you Punjabi or you're from
No, I speak Hindi.
Okay, so for those who are our Hindi speaking viewers, तो मैं हिंदी में भी आपसे कुछ पूछना चाहती हूँ कि चलो आपने उस इंसान को तो हेल्प कर दिया जिसकी शादी चल नहीं रही है, आपने उसको तो हेल्प कर दिया, बट सारे फैमिली मेंबर्स को आप कैसे हैंडल करो?
तो वो जो बंदा है जिसकी शादी में प्रॉब्लम्स है they need to handle them. वो उनको समझते हैं, तो मैं उनको एडवाइस कर सकती हूँ that आप ये बोल सकते हो, ये कर सकते हो, समझा सकते हो, but it's not going to be easy because मुझे 7 साल लग गए with my own mum and dad, उनको समझाने में like that this marriage is not working, so it's not easy, but then उसके लिए you have to be strong, there's no other answer,
I
you have to
think
be strong.
also and I think your support, because हमें लगता है कि हमें strong होना है, लेकिन हर कोई इंसान होता है and everybody can't do it alone. I think we can't do it alone. I think we
No,
need
and then
Sonia.
I'm there.
I think that's
Yeah.
what you're there for. You're there to provide that support. Because if I just tell someone be strong, if you tell someone be strong, they may not be able to. But if they have Sonia by their side, I have my coach with me, then that's where the strength comes from. That I'm not alone. I've got somebody who understands my journey, who is there for me, anytime just a call away. And I get the strength and support I need to do what is right for me and my family.
And Ruby, that's actually the reason I launched It's a Sonia thing, because I was alone.
Yeah.
I didn't have that. So I had my friends, they were fantastic, but I didn't have somebody that really understood that pain because they weren't divorced
Right.
or going through it.
Okay, so where are you based exactly in the UK?
I'm in East London, London.
All right. And you do your coaching online, offline, or both?
I do it online and I do it face to face. It really depends on what the client needs. So for me though, I prefer face to face because I think, as you said, I've made it a little bit more fun. I think sometimes it can be quite clinical sometimes. So I like to meet that person face to face, go for coffee, go for brunch. So they feel like they're talking to a friend, but
Right.
who doesn't have any vested interest, no emotional attachment, will just
Yeah.
give you the honest answer. And I always say to people, I will tell you very honestly what I see. You may not always like that answer.
Right. Okay, so in your coaching that you do you have largely men, women, or both?
I mainly have women. I do have some male clients too, but
Right.
majority is women.
Do child counseling for children who are going through, like their parents are getting divorced, and maybe that's something you
No,
can look at. You'd be really good at it, especially
yeah,
with things.
no, absolutely, absolutely. I haven't spoken to children on such a level, but obviously if they're within my circle, and I've got now loads of single friends, mums and dads and their children there, then that's a different. I do speak to them, but no, I haven't gone down that road, not yet, anyway.
I really think this is the next avenue for you
Maybe.
because I think children also need support when they're
Oh,
coping
they
with,
do.
uh, I think media or maybe our own imagination gives us this kind of perfect, you grow up, you get married, you grow up, get married, and have kids, and it's supposed to be perfect. But life is not perfect, and it can be
Right.
perfect in a different way. Whatever gives everybody peace, whatever gives everybody survival, being able to function. Some homes become toxic, and then people are dysfunctional. So I think child counseling, family counseling, teenagers, young adults, this is also something I think you would be really good at. That's my
Thank you.
my advice to you.
Well, my background is childcare,
Yeah, yeah.
so
You have two
I
sons, you
would
said.
be. Yeah, I do. I do.
How old are they?
So now they're 20 and 14.
And at that time, so they must have been really small at that time when you went through your own divorce.
Yeah, they were.
How old were they
Yeah,
at
I
that
mean, so I was pregnant with my second one at that time, and my old one was 6. So,
time?
I mean, but
Oh,
by the time my divorce came through, they were older, because it took over a decade. But I do talk to them, and I'll be like, I say to my older one, like, sometimes, do you want to do this podcast with me, or do you want to do like, that you've been asked to like speak? And his answer is, I lived it once, I don't need to live it again, and that's it. He's done. He won't talk
sure,
about it because
sure.
there will be some kind of trauma in there, and he's just like, I don't need to talk about it. That's it. And so, yeah,
Okay,
that's his
fabulous.
choice.
So today, ladies and gentlemen, today we have with us Sonia Gupta. She's a speaker, a coach, and a relationship manager. She will help you to figure out how to manage your relationships, or maybe if you need to get out of it, or whatever transitions you're going through in your relationships. Sonia is the founder of It's a Sonia Thing, where she helps people reinvent themselves, rediscover themselves during or after divorce in particular. And Sonia, do you also do other kinds of counseling if somebody's going through a hard time, is not going through a divorce, but is facing some other challenges? Do you also take up those clients?
I, in general, just give really good advice. So I've had people come to
Like,
me when they've had,
yeah,
yeah, when they've had issues with family members, like siblings and things like that. I'm like, my God, you just have a completely different view on how to handle it, or yeah, I just managed to see it through a different lens to the person sitting in that situation. So I do give advice on other areas if people need it.
so you do general life coaching as well,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay,
I
great.
think I think relationships can come. I think when we say relationships, we always think of a marital or a romantic relationship. But for me, a relationship can be with a sibling, with a parent, with a friend, with work. So when I say relationship, for me, that covers all of it. Because I've been through a divorce and my own journey, everyone tends to bring it under that umbrella of romantic relationship, but it doesn't have to be.
That's true. That's true. I never thought of it that way. That's wonderful. Okay, so Sonia, thank you for being with us. This is
Thank
Sonia.
you.
She's a speaker, a coach, and the founder of It's a Sonia Thing. And Sonia Gupta, thank you for joining us today. She's based in the UK, but she's catering to clients from all around the world, online and offline. So this is Reflections with Ruby Bhatia in association with Inspiring Indian Women, a not-for-profit NGO based in the UK and in India. And we're proud to have with us women from all over the world who are entrepreneurs, artists, coaches, speakers, or anything else new and vibrant. Do let us know if you'd like to join us on our show. You can WhatsApp us on 989-231-2531, and you can check the link in the bio for further contact details. Thank you once again, Sonia, for being with us, and all the best on your journey.